Most expensive car crash. Having a fancy, luxurious car that can go incredibly fast is a definite attraction and goal of many people watching this video. No matter what age group you belong, you must have thought of investing money to buy your dream car and show off to your friends and family. Unfortunately, with beauty, speed, and power comes the possibility of accidents, injuries, and even death. Welcome. You are watching Most Expensive Car Crash, where today we will be taking souvenirs from the most expensive car crashes. The amount of damage cannot heal the injury of how much these accidents cost their owners. But hey, maybe this can be your lesson for when you buy one yourself. Before we can vroom to our top list, make sure you have subscribed to our channel for bringing you the most exclusive top 10s on YouTube. Fasten your seatbelt and let the thrill begin. Number 10. Bugatti EB110. A good day drive in your Bugatti might sound perfect unless there's an oil spill to turn your bright day into fright day. That too, when the car is not yours. Such was the case when Emil Ratelband, a famous guru, sent his car for a routine checkup, but that turned into his Bugatti being toasted by his mechanic. Even though the owner was careful about his fancy car, it should have been his mechanic to be more confident about driving. He wanted to take the Bugatti for a test spin after working on the car, only to hit it with a pole. He claimed that there was an oil spill on the road, which made him lose control of the car and ended up crashing the vehicle worth $500,000. Ouch! I guess that was the time when Emil had practiced his calmness and positivity the most and had shown the world about how to practice what you preach. Number 9. Mercedes-Benz SL300. Our favorite Mercedes-Benz Gullwing is the cynosure of all eyes, the ultimate chick magnet of the 90s era. With those iconic doors that make you look like a boss when you walk out of it. But it wouldn't be so classy if you hammer it, which is an ugly sight not just to your bank account, but to yourself. Well, Gullwing is fantastic until it met face-to-face with a Ford Super Duty one day. The owner was totally bewildered by the amount that would be put on the repairing fees. Thankfully, when a public vehicle is responsible for the damages to your car, there is little to worry, but it did cost taxpayers in Seattle a whopping $750,000 in damages. Although the driver was unharmed, phew, can't even describe the pain to see the money crash with this one. Number 8. Bentley Azure. Women can't drive and men can't cook. Although equally sexist, yet valid to some extent, this statement might sound stereotypical, but this accident humbly proved that it is, in fact, true that women can't drive. Well, some of them really can't. With the spectators present to capture the thrill and untold amount of embarrassment to ensure, this moment is the best one on our list. This accident involved the Bentley Azure and a Ferrari F430, which rammed into other luxury cars as well. While the Bentley Azure was driven by a woman who ran it into a Ferrari and sparked a chain reaction that ended up piling up Aston Martin Rapide, Porsche 911 Turbo, and a couple of Mercedes S-Class. With a large audience present to applaud the woman for the accident of the 8 most expensive cars, it is believed to have happened during a race. Thankfully, every car involved in the accident suffered minor damage, but totaled just between $1 million to $1.5 million. I think Daddy will pay for this one. Number 7. Jaguar XJ220. Jaguars are the wildest animals in the wilderness, capable of surviving difficult situations, but the same cannot be said about this Jaguar car. Unfortunately, this particular series is the most crashed by millionaires and billionaires who can quickly ram it and afford this luxury. But this beauty met its fate like other of its series when the driver was out for an enjoyable ride, but he lost control as he was speeding and fell into a ditch, eventually causing damage to the car, which was estimated to be $1 million. This one now humbles all men that it's not just women who crash or can't drive. Number 6. Ferrari Enzo, Eddie Griffin's. On the list of most expensive, how can we miss Ferrari out? That too, Eddie Griffin's. There are many things known about him, namely his comedy acts and sitcoms and many movies, but many are unaware of his contribution to one of the most expensive cars. His contribution came in the form of his Ferrari Enzo, a model of Ferrari that is famous for its safety measures and have had only 14 crashes all across the world. The pedestrians captured the moment of his car totaling. Fortunately, the Ferrari Enzo kept up its promise of safety and nobody was injured. Later, Eddie was seen posing atop the crashed car, which cost him to $1.5 million in damage. The car was later fixed and has returned to the front lawn of Griffin. Number 5. Rare Italian masterpiece. To add the injuries to the list on number 5, we have the rare car breed of only 25 of its kind. Well, 24 to be exact, because this list took out one for the most expensive crash. A Pagani Zonda F Roadster was destroyed in a crash due to a slick road and a barrier. With the destruction of this rare Italian masterpiece, only 24 of its kind are left. Unfortunately, with this one, the driver suffered some injuries with the car. Surprisingly, this classic car had no airbags, but the crash was estimated to be around $2.2 million. Number 4. Koenigsegg Agera R. Talking about rare breeds being taken non-seriously, we have a rare Swedish car with only 18 examples when produced. A Chinese man destroyed his Swedish luxury car, Koenigsegg Agera R, which is the most expensive car in the world. The crash happened due to overspeeding and losing control and taking on a sidewalk's pylon. Although the car was not totaled, the repairs of the damages were claimed to be between $3 to $4 million. At the same time, the total value of the car itself was $4.1 million. Adding to the injury, the car was not insured at the time of the crash. Whoops! Number 3. Japan luxury car crash. If there were a moment to sum up the wrong place, wrong time, it would be this car collision of luxury cars in Japan. If they have a Black Friday or 13th as Curse Day, they must add to the list when 14 of the most luxurious cars collided in December 2011. In this luxury collision, there were 14 luxury cars, namely 8 Ferraris, 3 Mercedes, 1 Lamborghini involved. The only cheapest car in the accident was a lonely Toyota Prius. The drivers in this collision were charged for reckless driving and speeding. Unfortunately, there were physical injuries as well, including 6 people, but thankfully no fatalities. The accident estimated a whopping $4 million in damage. Number 2. Ferrari 250 GT Spider. Before we bring you the top 2, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up for making you know how not to avoid ruining your luxuries. A Ferrari 250 GT Spider was bought at an auction in 2008 for $10.8 million, making it a record price for a 1961 GT. But just as the price is unique, so is how this car ended up on our list at number 2. Unlike any other car on the list, this car was not the driver's folly or drunk crash by its owner. Instead, this was the unloved child of Mother Nature. The car was parked on the beach when a hurricane hit the place and took no exception to show the world its power. With what was left, all we can offer is a 2-minute silence for the owner. Number 1. Ferrari 250 GTO. For those of you who collect cars, who are willing to spend millions of dollars for a luxurious garage as a symbol of status and wealth, must know that high insurance fees and increased risks of accidents are part of the deal. But sometimes it's more expensive than those fancy cars themselves. In 2012, the American millionaire and inventor, Christopher Cox, took his 1962 Ferrari GTO for a spin in France. Previously, he had used the car in a Ferrari race in France, luckily surviving without a scratch. But the unfortunate event of the luxurious car came after leaving the race. While overspeeding, he hit a car in front of him and was hit by another car from behind. Fortunately, Cox and his wife both managed to pull out without any serious injuries, but the car's damage resulted in $28.5 million, but has already been fixed anew. Now that is what riches of the rich do. Break things to throw some extra cash to fix it. This was all for our top 10s list. If you loved the crashes, if you loved the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up. And if we missed out on any of the car crash, comment down below. And also do not forget to watch other videos and subscribe to our channel. Until next VIDE, drive safely and goodbye.